Hello.
Hey.
Oh. There it goes.
Is this Brad from the highest selling Canadian band in country music history with back-to-back gold singles in the US, 3 number ones at Canadian radio, 2 gold albums, and 6 platinum singles?
Oh, I thought you were going to keep going. Yes, this is Brad.
Well, hello, sir.
Hello. How are you guys?
We're good. We're not.
Oh shoot, man, this is horrible.
Better than you, as it turns out.
Yeah. I've got this really strategically placed remote here that's supposed to be holding this, but apparently it's not that strong. But,
is it chalkboard behind you?
Yeah, it's like a chalkboard wall.
That's cool.
I'm here in my publishing company, Warner Chappell. This is one of the studios here. And you can write, while you're writing songs, you can always scribble on the wall if you want. Which is
cool.
Well, you do write a lot of them, and you do it very well. You've got a whole new album out now with the new form of High Valley. The latest song that we hear on the radio is called Country Music, Girls and Trucks. What's that about?
I'll give you 3 guesses. And they better all be right.
Yeah.
You actually wrote or co-wrote all 13 tracks on this album.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot, and that's kind of what I do here every day. And my son goes to school in downtown Nashville. We live out in the country, and I might have got a little lazy the last few years staying out in the country, but now that I got to drive him to school every morning anyway, I drop him off and head over here, and we've just been writing and a lot of songs over the years. And every once in a while I have to remind myself, I'm like, hey, probably High Valley needs to record some of these songs too. So it was awesome. It was awesome to finally boil down kind of our top 13. I love when other people record the songs. It's like my favorite feeling as a songwriter, but it's also really exciting to record them myself. So thank you guys for playing them.
Sometimes when other people record a song and it becomes really big and you're like, oh, I should have kept that for myself. That doesn't happen.
You know what? No, I've never regretted it ever, but I will say, if you want me to be brutally honest, there's a song, All Night to Figure It Out by Jade Eagleson, and Born and Raised by the Hunter Brothers, and Me Without You by Tim and the Glory. Those 3 are probably the 3 out of all of them that is like, shoot, I might should have kept those, but I love those songs, and they all did fantastic jobs with them, so it's all great. But
what other huge songs are you behind other than obviously the High Valley ones then?
I mean, a lot of the Hunter Brothers stuff, the Tim and the Glory Boys stuff, Wreck Laws, Jade Eagleson, James Barker Band, Brett Kissel, Paul Brand, a lot of the stuff you guys are playing. So it's been awesome for me.
Yeah, about 40% of what we're playing. Well, that is an awful lot of paychecks, Brad.
Yes.
Well, I don't write all their songs, but every once in a while they've recorded some of my stuff, which has been amazing.
You have another paycheck coming in right now. Another feather in your cap, a TV star. What the heck? And when can I watch it? And how do I be a part of it? And can you renovate my home?
Wow. Which questions?
Yeah.
What's 7 questions?
You announced a new show, which is called what?
Flip You.
Flip You. Yeah.
For Flip University.
Yeah, so Jen Wayne from Runaway June and myself, we're co-hosting it. I've done a show for them for the Design Network last year, just 1 episode. I didn't do the show. I was just a guest on a show called Celebrity Homes Unlocked, where they came and found me, did a day at this Airbnb my wife and I built called Cottage at the Ridge. And it's like a recording studio, creative space kind of. It turned into a honeymoon suite, basically. Everybody and their dog has been staying there for their honeymoon. But it started out as a place for me to park our four-wheelers and dirt bikes. And I grew up on a bunch of land in Alberta. We were trying to kind of build that for my kids here and say, we don't want to just be city slickers. Let's get out in the country and get a little muddy every once in a while. And it turned into my wife designing it all fancy and beautiful. And then it went viral on Instagram. And all of a sudden, Luke Combs was there and Brittany Aldean was there, and everybody wanted to stay at this place. So we did a thing called Celebrity Homes Unlocked, and we just gave them a tour of Cottage at the Ridge. And then they called me back a few months later and said, would you consider hosting this new show we want to do called Flip You? And do you know anybody else in the music space that loves real estate as much as you do? Because I do a lot of house flipping and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, Jen Wayne from Runaway June. We had just played a festival together in Michigan, and we were talking about it, and she's been flipping a lot of houses. So anyway, they called up Jen and she said yes. And we're going to be the professors of Flip University, and everybody on the show will be basically students, and we'll either give them a diploma at the end or, say thanks, but no thanks. I don't know. I can't imagine like failing. I can't imagine failing anybody. But.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
I have always wondered, because I was watching another home renovation show recently
Of like a couple of brothers who look the same.
Who happen to look very alike and are very tall
with their properties.
Yeah.
and there was always like the stock footage of them doing some of the demolition on the homes, but they're in their fancy like tight pants and tight shirt. I think
I would never wear those.
No,
so, never on
yeah.
stage or anything. Never a tight pant.
No,
for
definitely
Brad.
not. Not all jean or anything like that.
Yeah.
But how much of the actual work do you guys as hosts do? Or is that just for, let's get the stock footage, guys?
Yeah, you know what? We're just starting to film it right now this fall, coming up here in a few weeks. So I can't honestly confirm or deny that we were doing it or not doing it. I will say that in my experience of stuff that I've really done, I've been much better at delegating than actually doing. So if you see me with a sledgehammer knocking a wall down, it's because I want to, and because it'll look really cool on TV. But I would like to. I definitely am into demolition, but I'm way more into. It's weird. I'm quite into the design part of it. I like finding in the cottage. We found actual boards from a sawmill that were not floorboards; they were just boards, and glued them down on a concrete floor, and they sanded the snot out of them until they look really luxurious and cool and modern. But they're straight up just raw cut wood from a sawmill locally. So
cool.
I'm going to hopefully teach people, different ways to think outside of the box and not just go to your hardware store and pay an arm and a leg for something that's perfect. I like to kind of, the same way I write songs, I like to take something that doesn't exist, and then by the end of the day, you've got this new thing. And I think that's why flipping houses is kind of cool for musicians. And the other cool thing is, like, with a show like Flip You, we'll be able to see something start and then see it finish.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas as a songwriter, every day you're writing a song, and like Make You Mine became a hit, at least in the US, 6 years after I wrote it. So sometimes you write a song, but you don't see the result. Whereas with building a house or fixing up a bathroom, you can actually see the result in like 6 days.
Yeah. That's more my patience level. I don't have the patience to wait 6 years for my work to pay off.
Does a song ever feel finished? Like, do you actually finish something and you're like, yeah, that's, I nailed it. That's exactly everything. Or does it always kind of feel like, because it's you on a page?
Yeah. Ask my wife. Every day I come home and I'll leave this studio and we'll literally record a song, start to finish, a song that did not exist when we walked into the room. And I always think it's the best song ever. Yeah. And then my wife and kids are my sounding board, and they're like, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah. Oh. And so that's why you got to write so many, so that every once in a while, we had a song called Young Forever a few years ago, and that song ended up getting to be on Madden, the video game, and my kids play Madden whenever we allow them screen time. And that was the time when I could act cool and show off for my kids, because now they finally were actually proud of something their dad had done,
Those are fleeting moments.
Yeah, they sure are.
Doesn't quite keep you young forever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Quite the opposite.
So you have we obviously know Country Music Girls and Trucks is on the radio now from the album Way Back, out now, came out this spring, and you are doing this show Flip You with one of the members of Runaway June, who is performing with you, well, the day after you this weekend in Moncton for the YQM Country Fest. You're a part of a huge lineup, Brad.
It's a really, really great lineup. I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm buddies with Jordan Davis, so it's really cool that we get to be there on the same day. He's just a super great dude, super humble guy who's kind of kept his head down and been writing some great songs for a long time. And in the last few years, they just kind of popped, and Singles You Up and Make You Mine were both climbing the charts in the US at the same time. And so we got to visit, I don't know, we've probably been in 10 or 15 different cities together over the years at these different small acoustic events, and then seeing him really just blow up lately with that Buy Dirt song. And my kids love Jordan Davis. So I'm really pumped that he's on the show the same day as us.
So, well, I have a question then about that, because you got you and then Dean Brody and then Jordan, and Florida Georgia Line is the Friday night show, which is massive, because you don't have Granger Smith there to do Country Music Girls and Trucks. Will maybe Jordan be helping you out, or Dean, or Tyler O'Brien, or all of them?
That's a good question. I might have to just throw that out there and see what happens.
You haven't thought of it yet? Okay, well, let's brainstorm now.
That's funny. Oh man, that's a good idea.
It's like, maybe if you guys would shut up and didn't ruin the surprise.
Is your whole family coming to watch this one?
You know what? They're not. I am flying after the show. I'm landing back in Nashville at 9 a.m. because my 10-year-old has a football game. So there's no rest. It's always like get off stage. Last week we played, just a couple days ago, we played this huge show in Alberta, and I was talking to my agent after and showing him the text thread with my wife, and I was like, what fans would expect on this text thread would be, holy crap, honey, you should have seen that crowd. It was insane. And then her saying, OMG, I'm so proud of you, blah, blah. But instead, it was a text of her sending me a picture right after I got off stage. It didn't say, how was the show? It was my son and his friend who was over from the football team. And they were having a fire in the woods. And she said, look at this. They're having so much fun. And I said, man, that's amazing. And that was it. So they kind of forget. They kind of forget, I think, what I do for a living, and they're just like nose down. And honestly, my wife's a rock star. Boys are in football, basketball, and baseball. Times travel, times quarterback lessons and hitting sessions and point guard university, all this stuff. So she doesn't have time to sit there and wonder whether or not people think her husband is cool on stage with his Canadian tuxedo. That's not at the top of the priority list.
I love it though. It puts it in perspective when you're watching you on stage being the star that you are this upcoming weekend. The very next day you're going home to see your son play football. So you're a dad at the end of the day, first and foremost.